Hello, my name is Chris, and this is the first of hopefully many videos on this channel to document my journey into the sport of drag racing. Growing up, I was always really fascinated by fast cars, especially old muscle cars. My parents had a 1969 Plymouth Roadrunner, and I can still remember going for rides sitting on that hot black vinyl of the back seat and loving hearing the roar of the engine. I had a big collection of Hot Wheels cars, and as I got older, I started to collect and build car model kits. They never really came out looking as good as the pictures on the box, and the paint jobs were really horrible, but they were still fun to put together. One day I knew I wanted to have a real muscle car that I could go fast in and race. Fast forward to now. I was finally at a point in my life that I could actually build my own muscle car to race, but where do I start? I logged into Facebook Marketplace and began my search. I knew I wanted an older car, something with personality, but there were so many options. I've always liked old Novas and Mustangs, but I wanted something that you don't really see every day. Dusters and Darts are cool, but there weren't really any available locally. In a perfect world, I would have gotten a 1969 Roadrunner, like my dad had. But have you seen the prices of those things lately? Whew, way too spicy. Looks aside, I needed to figure out what actually makes a car good for drag racing. Well, there's a lot of factors that play into it. There's really only two main things you need: a big engine and a car that doesn't weigh a lot. While that definitely narrowed down the options, it wasn't by much. There were still quite a few small cars that I liked, but I was finally able to narrow down the short list to four choices: Ford Maverick, Chevy Vega, Ford Pinto, and Ford Falcon. The only Mavericks that were local were priced a bit too high, and the local Pintos were completely rusted out, one of the unfortunate side effects to living in Ohio. There were some Falcons relatively close, but they were either in really rough shape or were way too expensive. I found a couple Vegas that were definite contenders, but I'm not sure if you've ever shopped on Facebook Marketplace, but finding something you want is really the easy part. The hard part is getting a response from the sellers. That was the case with the Vegas. I sent the sellers several messages each over the course of a couple weeks to express my interest, and I never got a single reply from any of them. And then I saw it. A listing for a 1961 Ford Falcon that was close-ish, and from the picture it looked to be in really good shape. I reached out to the seller, and amazingly he replied rather quickly. We set up a date and time for me to come and look at it. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was the one. It had that old school look to it, and the wheels in my head were in overdrive with all the options that I could do with it. I do have to be honest, it was a bit more rough in person than in the picture. There was minimal rust, and most of the things that were wrong with it were things that I was going to be tearing out and replacing anyway, so it didn't really matter. I bought it and brought it home and put it in the garage. Okay, so now I've got the car. The next thing I needed was an engine. Like with cars, there are so many different options when shopping for an engine. Some people will tell you that if it's a Ford car, you have to put a Ford engine in it. Others will tell you it really doesn't matter what kind of engine you put in it. I kind of fall into that second group. I've really always been a fan of the Chevy LS platform, and so I knew that's what I wanted. Ideally, a 6.0 or a 6.2 liter would have been the way to go, but the 5.3s are so readily available and they're fairly cheap, so that's what I decided on. I found a 5.3 Vortec engine out of a 2003 Silverado on Marketplace that was only about 20 minutes away. A short trip later, I was back home with my engine. I now had both of the main pieces I needed to build my dream drag car. Unfortunately, it was December at this point, and this winter really sucked. It was way too cold to do anything until things warmed up. That gave me time to acquire a lot of the other important pieces that I would need for the build, as well as make a list of all the steps that I'd need to complete along the way. Thanks for coming along with me on this journey, and I hope that you stick around for more videos of the build as they come out. And now, without further ado, let's get to the action. So there's quite a bit that we've got to do with the Falcon. Got to take out all the interior, the seats. I already got one of the seats out. Any material, door panels, anything like that, it's all going out. So I'm going to go ahead and pull out the gas tank right now. What I'm going to do is just get a flat piece of steel, not sure the gauge, something thin, something like this, and just put it across there, and then we're going to put a fuel cell, probably a 5-gallon right here, and then move the battery back to there. Okay, so I got the interior out, and let me show you what I found. It's kind of interesting. Let me flip you around. So, got some weight reduction. Kind of expected that. It doesn't look too horrible. I mean, it obviously could look a whole lot worse. But the real interesting part is the duct tape. That's I don't even know. It's not even duct tape. It's like Dynamat, like that sound deadening stuff. There's some more weight reduction. Overall, not horrible. Like I said, I've seen way worse, but yeah, we'll get it cleaned up. Throw some paint. Might have to patch a few of these holes. We'll see. I'll have to look at it from underneath, but not too bad. I can work with this. Let's see what we can do.
A few moments later.
Well, after some more detective work, I found out what the Dynamat was covering. As I suspected, more weight reduction.
No, God!
So they've just used this to cover up any holes. Let's see, here's another one. What are we gonna find under here? Yep.
No!
Almost.
God, please, no! No!
And everybody knows that the proper way to fill rust holes is to use whatever this stuff is. I mean, that's just common knowledge.
Later.
Yeah, that took a little bit to get all that off, but yeah, there's some pretty significant weight reduction. No! That's probably the worst of it right there. There's my hand for size comparison. And of course, you know, if you want a Fred Flintstone stop, you can just stick your toes through there, I guess. But yeah, this side's looking a little rough. It actually looks like over here on this side that they had replaced this pan kind of poorly. Yeah, it's in there, but yeah, so we'll have to see what we're gonna do. We might have to replace this floor pan. I don't know if that's really worth patching all those or just kind of cut it all out and start over. I guess we'll see. The journey of discovery continues. This is unfortunately one of the things that you deal with when you've got an old car that's been sitting for quite a while and hasn't really been moved in several years. You get rats. Much better. Problem solved. But I bet there's a whole bunch more somewhere. There's never just one nest. Whew. It's been a long day. Got a lot done though. Got the gauge cluster out, our radio. I got the heater box thing that's over there. Ripped out a bunch of wire. I'm gonna rewire the whole car, so I don't need any of the wire that's in it currently. The problem that I've run into is trying to get these knobs off. I don't know how those come off. I don't know if they're screwed in from the back. I'm gonna have to look up online how to get rid of those, or at least take them out so that I can disconnect all these cable things, because they're like, you pull them and they actuate little flaps that used to be in the heater box, which I don't have anymore. So yeah, making some good progress. I was debating on actually taking the dash out, but it's kind of structural. They don't really make them so that you can remove them. They're like welded in. So I'll probably end up leaving it, but I'm definitely going to get a different steering column and wheel, because this one is set up for some janky old steering system, and I'm going to switch over to rack and pinion. The other thing I'm going to have to figure out is the pedal situation. Yeah. But anyway, enough blabbing. Got a lot done. I'm going to call it a night, and we will talk to you tomorrow. All right, bye. Hey, welcome back. So today we're going to be gapping some rings. It's, everybody's favorite part of building an engine, but got to do it. I've already got the top rings. They're actually the lower ones in there. I've got those all done already. And so now I'm working on the bottom ring, which right now I'm doing 25 on the top and 28 on the bottom. I figure for the boost level that I'm doing, that should probably be enough. Guess we'll see. So I won't bore you with how to gap rings, but I'll go ahead and get that knocked out, and then we can install the pistons. All right, let's do it. Well, that wasn't really as horrible as I was expecting it to be. Got all the rings filed, gapped, and ready to install on the pistons. So now I have the fun task of cleaning up all the pistons because they are gunky. Thankfully I got the part washer over there. So I will go ahead and get those cleaned up and get the rings installed, and then we can start throwing those pistons in the block. Hey, what's going on? We're back with the Falcon project. I'm gonna work on getting the engine pulled out, so I've got to drain the fluids. Got a lot of stuff I need to disconnect first, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with that. And now we wait.
20 minutes later.
We having fun yet? Time to bring out the big guns. Best tool in the game. We can get rid of this. All right, we got lots of room for activities now. Got rid of those strut tower braces. They're, but I'm going to be replacing them with an aftermarket one anyway. And having those out will definitely make putting the engine in and getting this one out a whole lot easier. So, had to be done. Hey guys, welcome back. We're at the point where we're going to be pulling the engine out of here. Hopefully it'll go smoothly, but you know, it's kind of been a struggle so far, so we'll see what happens. Let's go. got it. Hell yeah. All right, so we got the engine out, as you can see. Didn't spill a drop of liquid at all. Got a nice clean engine bay here. Ooh, well, I guess I did spill a little bit, didn't I? That looks like a crime scene. That's going to be fun to clean up. But now we've got a lot of room to work in here and get ready for the pretty one. I can't wait.